We have a responsibility to lead. The world needs leaders who understand statistics and data science. Leaders need to be able to make good decisions based on the right questions and the right answers. Giving an answer is easy. Giving the right answer is hard. And usually, the right answer means an answer where the right amount of uncertainty is conveyed, and conveyed in such a way that the recipient understands it. And that is hard. Giving an answer is easy, giving the right answer is hard, but giving the right answer to the right question is even harder. As statisticians and data scientists, we think about how data relate to the real world and can be used to answer questions about the real world. We have the mathematical foundations and the language to reason about how observed samples generalize to populations. We have the mathematical foundations and the language to design experiments and observational studies. We have the mathematical foundations and the language to build models. And we have the mathematical foundations and language to use data to draw inferences and to make predictions about the future. Every field that uses data needs us. And today, every field uses data, and so every field needs us. We are the flowers that everyone wants today. You have the opportunity to get involved. Moreover, we have the responsibility to get involved. We have the opportunity to lead. Moreover, we have the responsibility to lead. We are living in an age of perfect weather for data science and statistics. This perfect weather is formed by the confluence of three different fronts. The first is compute. Computing power has increased due to specialized hardware such as graphical processing units, tensor processing units, and field programmable gate arrays. The second is data sets. Large labeled data sets have been collected, such as ImageNet. The third is algorithms. Complicated algorithms are now feasible to implement. This triad of compute, data sets, and algorithms has led to notable advances in prediction and wild headlines such as Google unveils neural nets with superhuman abilities. These models predict well, and they definitely have benefit for the society, but not all that grows is good. They predict well until they don't. As long as the observed sample comes from the same population as the training data, and as long as the training data were representative of the population of interest, then the models predict well. But if either of these is not true, then there are problems. So for example, take an image classifier where, a model where the input is an image, the output is a probability distribution over the sample space of potential labels for that image. Image classifiers have been fooled into misclassifying with high probability, meaning that it misclassifies and is very sure of that wrong label. So these image classifiers have been fooled into misclassifying when they're fed an image that has been very carefully modified in a very specific way, and it's modified so slightly that it's imperceptible. This is an example of how machine learning can go wrong, and the study of all the ways in which machine learning can go wrong is the field called adversarial machine learning. So we know all models are wrong in the best of circumstances. But as the stakes increase and we use models, the output of models, for more and important things, then it's important for us to set expectations. We have a responsibility to educate, to inform, and to set expectations. So, for example, instead of using overly complicated models, we could use explainable models, or in Cynthia Rudin's terms, interpretable models. An interpretable model is one that includes domain knowledge, and by including that domain knowledge, it can both predict well and be reliable. Another thing we can do is to remind all modelers of the basics. So what's the population of interest? Are your data representative of that population? If not, what population are they representative of? Are your data biased? If so, how can you correct for that bias? These questions come naturally to many statisticians and data scientists, but not all. So it's our responsibility and an opportunity to help data scientists, all data scientists and statisticians think about these questions and consider them. It's our responsibility to shape data science. So at a JSM many years ago, I made the argument that a data scientist is nothing but a good applied statistician. By applied, I meant one who was strong in the computation. So who could program, who could do scripting, and who could query databases. By applied, I mean one who had enough domain knowledge in order to ask the right questions and to formulate the questions well. And by statistician, of course, I meant someone who understood uncertainty and could communicate that uncertainty. So a good applied statistician is certainly a data scientist. But my thinking on the definition of data scientist has evolved, and now I recognize that there are many other people who consider themselves data scientists as well and should be considered data scientists. Some of these people might be have more strength in the computer science aspects of data science, such as being able to speed up algorithms or make them run at scale. Others might think about data types such as graphs or text data that are not often utilized in statistics classes. So data science as a field is a bit all over the place. And I think of it like a field of different fields of wildflowers. You know, every field has a variety of flowers in it, and every field is different from the next. So a data scientist is like a bouquet of wildflowers, where maybe she's strong and has a lot of the inference type of flowers. Maybe another data scientist has a lot of the scale and speed type of flowers. So there are all different types of data scientists, and no one is an expert in all of those things, or at least there are very few people who are experts in all different aspects of data science. But we have a responsibility to lead data science. And the reason we have a responsibility is that since no one can be an expert in everything, then it's more important to have leaders who are experts in inference. The reason for this is that a data science answer involves two things. It involves an actual answer, and it involves an interpretation, that is, reasoning about the validity of the answer. Getting an answer requires computational knowledge, whereas reasoning about the answer, the interpretation, requires a knowledge of inference. If a data scientist can't get an answer, can't compute the answer in a certain amount of time or with a certain amount of memory, then it's obvious. If a data scientist doesn't know inference, it's not obvious, it's dangerous. We have those skills, and so we have a responsibility to lead. Welcome that responsibility and take the opportunity to lead. We're all already leaders, but you'll have more opportunities in the future for formal leadership. And to prepare for those opportunities, you need additional skills. How to prepare for leadership and how to build those leadership skills is what we'll talk about next.